everybody's having a great day today. We're going to talk some liposuction, fat transfer, and how to get rid of that belly without a tummy tuck. So I'm taking questions, any questions that you guys might have today. I'm happy to answer. Let's see, welcome everyone. Candice Romero, Yesenia, welcome. So, my quote on Facebook, I was discussing that if you're able to control your hunger urges, then you can control pretty much everything beyond that. So this was something that I've been discussing with a lot of people recently, but I personally have just done a juice cleanse where I didn't eat for 4 days. And I know that period of time is a builder of myself, of my mental status. And it was difficult. And I've done this quite a few times, so it wasn't as difficult as it was the first time. But when you don't eat for a period of time, maybe that's 24 hours, maybe that's 48 hours, many people think that they're going to die, right? That they're going to collapse because they're not getting any food. And you may have had times when you didn't eat anything in the morning all the way till the evening, and you felt like you were going to die because you didn't have any food. And in many cases, what I found is that it was really a sense of dehydration that I was experiencing. And when you're fasting for any period of time, when you drink a significant amount of fluids, those fluids fill up your belly and make it so you don't experience the same sensation of hunger that you would if you weren't dehydrated. All right.
Did you want to put any information on the Instagram?
You know what? I didn't copy and paste the stuff.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay. All right. So Shirley Diamond, you asked, do we need to have a BMI, a certain BMI? And so we don't do that. And you'll see we do some very large patients. So we specialize in large volume liposuction. And one of the things that I really like doing is creating that waistline, that hourglass figure, and particularly on larger individuals who have that belly that's folding over. People that are questioning the BMI usually have that as an issue. And in many cases, you've been told you have to get a tummy tuck. And so I'm here to just share with you that, let's see, I'm going to pin that. I'm going to share with you that you don't have to get a tummy tuck, and it is possible to get rid of that belly and that fold with just liposuction. So on Instagram, Granville just posted for me. We have the 2 links. You're gonna have to copy and paste since it's on Instagram, but we have a link for our expedited consultation, which is $100, and you can get that the consultation you can get next week. And with the free consultation, those are booked out till December. So it depends how serious you are, how quickly you're looking to move forward, but that's available. What's up, Stacy? I understand you're coming in tomorrow. Excited. Okay, Shirley Diamond says, I'm 225 and I'm struggling to lose weight. Well, Shirley, we can definitely help you with that. One of the things that I'm pretty confident on is that when people get stuck, they claim that they get stuck at a certain weight, their metabolism, there's all kinds of reasons why people try to get that. But what I know is that if you continue to do the same thing, you're going to continue to get the same results. So if you are looking to get different results, you have to change, and you have to change everything. Because in many cases, it's all your little habits that you're doing that lead to it, and sometimes it could be just one little thing that you're still doing, and that might be like drinking sodas or drinking alcohol or eating candy or whatever the case. But you got to change everything about your diet, everything about your lifestyle to instill positive habits. What's up, Kale?
What's going on? Got 3 cameras today. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
I gotcha.
So we have Stacy's coming in tomorrow.
All right. Contest winner.
Stacy's a contest winner. She's also had a couple other procedures, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Stacy says, you feel pressure, but the pain level depends on the individual.
Yeah, we had that was today, right? We had 2 two cool procedures, abdominal 360s with fat transfer. First one was awesome. She tolerated it well. Okay, there was some uncomfortability, I guess if that's a word that you would use there. And then the second one was absolutely just like a dream. Like she didn't even put a frown on her face. So yeah, it was, everybody tolerates this different. Most of the time people tolerate it really, really well. Sometimes, I don't know, I think it's anxiety kicks in, and if you don't have that under control and don't know how to manage that, sometimes it can get away from you. And like we've said this millions and millions of times, we can take out as much fat as your body allows us to, and most of that is predicated on how well you control your anxiety and how well your body allows us to work on it.
So let's see, Shirley Diamond says, I want a flat stomach, but I'm scared if it hurts. So Shirley, we do the same thing on every patient as far as we use numbing medication to numb the area locally. But with that said, everybody experiences it differently. Some people will experience very little, if any, pain. And you can see we do quite a few live procedures where the patients tolerate everything extremely well. But with that said, there's some people that don't tolerate it as well. You never know which one you're going to be, but I know that the people that have that fear to begin with, and they're worried and they have anxiety, they tend to experience it on a different level. They tend to anticipate the pain, so that's what they get.
So what I recommend is do like a lot of these other girls do, do your homework, do your research. Research tumescent liposuction, research all of the academic articles, research what the clients, or the patients talk about, and the more empowered you are, the lower the anxiety level becomes, and the better you tolerate it.
Right. I think fear plays a big part in it. So, talking to some of our other previous patients, if you're not on our private Facebook group, I'd get on there. You just search My Shape Lipo Support Group, and you can talk to a lot of our previous patients, and they can tell you their experience. But the bottom line is it's worth it. No matter what you experience, no matter what the day could be the worst day ever, but it's getting rid of that fat, getting rid of that belly, that hanging over, it's worth it, no matter what you have to go through. So just keep that in mind. So we have a question here. If you want to have a baby, do you recommend waiting and doing it later?
I don't know. I guess that just depends on where you're at in life, right? I mean, how soon do you want to have your baby? How soon do you want to, how soon do you want to change your body? I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that for you. What I can say is that it's a procedure that we can do in a relatively short time frame, a couple of hours. We can get you in, get you out, get you done, get you back recuperating, and your perception as you're healing absolutely changes of your body. And your confidence goes through the roof, your activity level goes through the roof. I was talking with one of our patients today, and she mentioned, I put on this weight. I used to could lose it pretty easy, but then, as I'm getting older, it's harder to get rid of this excess weight, and COVID hit, and man, it just, I found that I was avoiding doing things. My activity level went down because of the way I looked. And so that's why I'm here. And I thought, you know what? That's exactly right. Because when you look good, you feel good, your activity level goes up, you want to get out, you want to socialize, and you don't want to just hide in the shadows.
Right. So I, from personal experience, my sister, I did lipo on, like full body lipo on her, and she had 2 babies afterwards, I think about 2 years later. And what she said from her experience is that she gained weight as if she normally would with pregnancy. And when she lost weight, she went back to it the way she was pre-pregnancy when she got back to that normal weight. So just keep in mind what we're doing is we are removing fat cells. So when you gain weight, it's the fat cells that you have. They don't reproduce, but instead they expand and they get bigger. And then when you lose weight, those same fat cells, they shrink and get smaller. So with the liposuction, we're physically removing the fat cells. So those fat cells just won't be there anymore. And they won't be there to expand or shrink or go through that whole process anymore. So my opinion, if you're looking 2 years out to get pregnant, then get your liposuction now, and it may put you in a better position for your pregnancy to have less fat. Stacy says, Shirley, don't be afraid. So Shirley, you're asking about consultations. Up in the post here on Facebook, there's 2 links. There's one for the free consultation and one for the paid consultation. You can make your choices up there. And you asked about the contest. We're not currently running the contest right now.
Question from Lisa Marie: do you put people under, or are they in a twilight sleep? Actually, no. We want you to be alert and oriented the entire time. That way we can make sure that we know how your body is reacting to this. Yeah, it's a procedure called tumescent liposuction. It was developed by a dermatologist, Dr. Klein, back in the late 80s. And we inject medication, numbing medication, right into the fat layers. And we can work on you, and you are wide awake the entire time, and you can tell us, you know, all about yourselves, and we carry on these conversations, and we get to know each other and build a, you know, a pretty intimate relationship. And you know, you as soon as you're done with the procedure, we wrap you up, we get you ready, you go home, and you go to sleep. And recuperation is a lot better. It's a lot safer to do it that way. And you don't have any effects from the anesthesia, and you don't have to stay in a hospital and be monitored all night.
Hey, we had a Spanish question here.
Lo quiero lipo vivo en Arkansas. Me gustaría hacerlo pronto posible.
Okay, so Yersinia, yeah, bueno, podemos hacerlo tal como puedes. Tienes que llamar a nuestra oficina y hablar con Catherine. Quizás cuando yo estaré allá, yo puedo hablar contigo en cuanto a una consulta, pero envía nuestras fotos por Jotform o correo electrónico y podemos ver lo que tenemos y podemos ayudarle con lo que quieres, ¿ok?
Hey, let me just check my Spanish. So she says, I'd like lipo. I live in Arkansas, and I'd like to move forward as quick as possible.
Yep, nailed it.
Good.
Nailed it. Look at this picture. So Granville's doing a great job loading these pictures, our befores and afters, and these dramatic changes. And you know, what was the name of that girl that says I want to do it, but it was painful?
Well, she was worried about it, Shirley.
Yeah. So Shirley, look at this face right here. Okay, this is like, yeah, I don't like to pose. You know, I'm guarding myself. I'm trying to be vulnerable, but I don't want you to look for too long. And then look at the smile on this face. So is that worth a couple of hours of discomfort? I think it is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people do.
So Monica says, does the skin get saggy after lipo? So you can see with this young lady here, the skin retracts back quite nicely. You know, you got to keep in mind, your skin is kind of like the skin of a water balloon, in that when you stretch it out, there's going to be some damage, and when we remove the volume, it always shrinks back. But the question is, how well is it going to shrink back? And everybody's a little bit different. That's going to depend on, you know, how much damage was done to the skin previously. Your age contributes. The quality and skin tone obviously makes a difference. So everybody's a little bit different, but it always tightens back. Always. It's just a question of how much. And we've had so much success getting rid of these pannus, these fold over bellies. It's consistent now. And now obviously we can't guarantee, because everybody's a little bit different, but there's been consistent results, and time again. It's been happening like that for a while.
It's done very well for us. And this particular patient, again, 7 weeks post-op. I mean, look at the volume that we took out of this patient, and look at how her skin is retracting. So, you know, the inflammatory process takes place over the better part of a year. So she still has, you know, a ways to go in order to have final results and let that skin kind of tighten up. So
Elsie says, loving my results almost 2 months out. That's awesome, Elsie.
that girl. Let's see, how much does it cost to take off the chuckle? I'm not familiar with the body part that's called the chuckle.
I thought I was up to date on these terms.
Yeah.
Maybe that was like a misspelling, like
maybe autocorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuckle. Okay.
So again, so to answer that, you would have to send in photos. Let us take a look at it, right? So the idea is, this is not a cookie cutter, you know, oh, we're going to give you one price for, you know, this particular abdominal 360, because every body system is different. Every body is dynamic. Every canvas needs different, you know, work on it. So yeah, we have you send in photos to the jot form, and I think it's down below.
Yeah, it's
Or there's a link?
it's pinned here on Instagram, and then up in Facebook, it's up in the post. Now, the cool thing I want you guys to notice here is that, you know, we took a lot of fat out of there, and it's not like saggy, loose skin afterwards. You can see how well it tightened up. And on an individual this size, we have to break the 360 into 2 separate procedures. So this was only the front of the abdomen.
Yeah.
However, you can
So
see.
just here in the front.
Yeah, so you can see though that it looks smaller on the sides. So those of you who, you know, yeah, I've had some people that are like, oh, I'm disappointed, I can't get the full 360, but don't be disappointed because it still looks awesome. It's still a big change. It's still a big difference. But it's a step process, and we have to keep this safe for everybody, and that's really the main goal is safety. You know, we don't want any problems with the you know, issues from health wise. And let's see here on YouTube, Lauren Patterson says, is it safe to do 360 lipo?
It depends on your body size and how much fat we're taking off in relationship to your body size, okay? So it's kind of a percentage. We look at your body, and if we think that your body can tolerate it, and we put in a lot of back work, we look at your, you know, your lab work, your electrolytes, you know, your age, your height, your weight, you know, and all of your medical comorbidities, and we say, okay, so if we did this particular procedure, this abdominal 360 all the way around, okay, are they going to be a good candidate for recovering very fast and having and mitigating any problems that might show up? And if the answer is yes, then we go ahead with an abdominal 360. If the answer is no, we say, hey, listen, your results are going to be better if we do just the front of the abdomen, and then when you come back, do the love handles, hips, and lower back on a second procedure. You know, we're not trying to discourage you from, like, you know, not coming, because we only want to do the front, and it's not like we're trying to get more money out of you. What we're trying to do is we're trying to make this safe for your health and give you the best results possible. And by breaking this up into 2, we're able to take a substantial amount of fat off the front of the abdomen, and then when you come back for the second procedure, we take a substantial amount from the love handles, hips, and lower back, and we can create that waistline, and we can basically transform you, you know, and your family members, your loved ones will not recognize you as far as shape after a couple of months.
I mean, we're super aggressive, and the only way that we can be super aggressive and still keep it safe is that we try to isolate the procedures and focus on a particular general area, like the front of the abdomen, and then we can get all of the problem off of there, as opposed to trying to spread out our procedure and doing a 360 and only getting a smaller portion out of each area. The results just aren't as good that way.
Okay, so Carly Veo says, will somebody with diabetes do this surgery, the butt? And I don't quite understand, but, you know, I think the question is, if somebody has diabetes, can you do this procedure? Yeah, can you do the liposuction with the fat transfer to the butt? Absolutely, you can. Okay, so again, there's a lot of, like, consideration about health risks. Whenever you send in your medical history and we review it, we take a look at it, and we decide if you're a good candidate. But yeah, we've done a lot of diabetics, a lot of fat transfers for diabetics, okay? So it needs to be controlled, right? And so if you are a diabetic and you're not taking your medication, and we get, you know, most people don't divulge that, but if we get your lab work back and it's not controlled, then we're probably gonna say, hey, listen, we're gonna postpone it until it can get under control. So yeah, that's a big thing, diabetes, because what it's going to do is it's going to prevent the way you heal, okay?
Yeah, so diabetics, you know, they'll innately heal slower, and, you know, the risk factors are somewhat higher. However, if you're controlled well, then it's less of an issue. So, you know, as a diabetic, I'm sure you know how to take care of yourself, and, you know, we just got to make sure that we're taking care of you properly so you can get good results. Okay.
Sorry, I don't mean to, you know, have bad manners, but I've got a loved one that's kind of sick right now, and so I'm getting texts, and I'm just gonna text while Trevor's taking over.
He says, I'm planning to have my upper abdomen liposuction. Will I have to have the lower abdomen done to achieve what the young ladies? Dang it. above results look like. Yeah, so we won't do the upper abdomen without the lower abdomen because the results are mediocre at best, and it just looks weird. And most people were like, the problem is that we have to stop somewhere. So wherever we stop, and if we don't go all the way through, we have to blend and try to make it look natural. But now you're talking about the front of the abdomen, and it's like prime time real estate where if there any mistake is made in there, then you have weird looking belly. Not only that, it's abnormal for the bottom belly to be significantly larger than the upper abdomen. So it's just in our best, it's in your best interest and in our best interest. We want to get the best possible results. So you're not walking around with this weird looking belly. But send in pictures. You may have something that I'm not sure what we're talking about. So if you have some issues, send in some pictures, do the consultation, and we'll discuss.
So that's the idea of this consultation, right? You send in photos so we can analyze them, Trevor and I, and we can take a look at them and we can say, hey, this is what I think is going to work best for your particular body type. What are your goals? What are your aspirations? And how can we give you the look that you're looking for? In very rare cases, going with that whole breaking it up, we like to start with the front of the abdomen, and we don't like to start with the love handles, hips, and lower back. Why? Because then it gives you the big distended abdomen with a small love handles, hip, and lower back area. And so oftentimes we start with the front of the abdomen, and then the second procedure is the love handles, hips, and lower back. Very rarely do we start with the love handles, hips, and lower back. We have done it before, but anyway, that's kind of the take on that.
All right, we got a Spanish comment. I'm going to read it off. ¿Cuál es el precio si solo quiero reducir mi estómago?
Mario, bueno, tienes que enviarnos algunas fotos para que podamos evaluar cómo se ve su cuerpo y el tamaño de su estómago. Tal como sabes, hay muchas personas que tienen diferentes tamaños de estómago y tenemos que verla para darle un precio, ¿ok?
The link's up in the post.
Hay un link para una página de web donde se puede upload sus fotos y podemos verlos, ¿ok?
All right, you got another question here. Spanish. This is also from Yesenia.
Yeah, so she actually answers them. She says you have to submit photos.
Okay.
What's up, Lorraine? We'll see you Wednesday.
Coming on Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
So someone asked about loose skin. That's why we utilize the Smart Lipo laser, particularly in the areas that are more of a concern, like the front of the abdomen, the arm, the inner thighs, the chin. These are areas that are more prone to loose skin. So we want to stimulate as much collagen as possible to tighten up the skin. And the studies show that you can get up to 57% more skin tightening when you use a laser versus liposuction alone.
So that's an interesting question about the whole skin loosening because I hit on Facebook and I hit on Instagram right about the same time. So I've actually shown pictures of our befores and afters to a lot of my colleagues, in emergency medicine, and they look at these photos and they go, well, where's the skin at? Like, where did you cut? No, I can't cut. Like. That we only do liposuction, and they're baffled that the skin retracts that well. So there's this misconception in medicine that you will need a tummy tuck, and the reason that is because the guys that do the tummy tucks make more money off the tummy tucks, and their perception is that they think that the cosmesis or the aesthetic appearance is going to be better, and so that's what they try and sell you on. But in reality, there's a lot of people that don't want to do a tummy tuck because of the big scar, and we found that the skin retracts really, really well without it. So I mean, do your research and do your homework and make the best decision for you. If you want to, we can talk to you on the phone and we can discuss this further. But yeah, we've had great success with it.
So Ella says, I'm 250 pounds. Do I have to lose weight before? This is, I'm not going to say don't lose weight, but at the same time, it's more difficult, in my opinion, to get the fat out of someone who's lost a dramatic amount of weight, like 50 to 100 pounds. The tissue is significantly tougher and it's more difficult to get the fat out when you lose a dramatic amount of weight. So I don't recommend that. The other thing is when you lose a significant amount of weight, the skin sags. And with liposuction, when you remove the fat, we stimulate the collagen layer, which gets the skin to tighten up. So it's different. So that's why, when you see people that lose 100 pounds and it looks like their skin's hanging off them, it's different than that. The skin's going to retract when you do the liposuction. So we can, if you're planning on losing weight, get the liposuction first, and then, make your lifestyle changes just before you come to get your liposuction. Lifestyle changes, get the liposuction, and then continue on with those lifestyle changes. No certain BMI. We don't calculate BMI.
Right. So we're located in Las Vegas, Nevada, or Henderson, which is connecting to Las Vegas. What percentage should I have from BMI to be a candidate for Lipo 360? Listen, Ellie Hernandez, I can't even tell you that, okay? So what we do is you send your photos in and we take a look at it. We look at your numbers, what's your height, what's your weight, and we look at it and we say, hey, listen, do we think that we're going to be able to get through this? Oftentimes we will have discussions about, patients, and, he'll say, oh my gosh, dude, she's right on the border. Right. That's going to be a lot of work. Or I'll say the same thing to him, and so it's great that you have two minds looking at your picture, because, we want the absolute safest procedure for you and what we think is going to be the best in your in your behalf. And so, numbers, I don't know.
It's not, to be honest with you, it doesn't really have anything to do with even your height and weight, because there's people that are the same height and weight, but their weight distribution is totally different. So, our judgment is, when I look at this, I'm trying to figure out, if we treat the front of the abdomen, are we going to exceed the expectation of how much fat that we can remove? And the limitations that the state gives us, we want to stay within those limits. We want to keep safe for you. So if I think that we can get the maximum amount of fat or more off of the front of your belly, then we'll do the front of the belly. If we expect that we're going to push those limits dramatically just with the front of the belly, then we're not going to do a full 360. So I see Heidi on here. She's saying she's 225 and she got 360. Her weight distribution was different. She didn't have that big hanging belly like some other women that or men for that matter that are 225. So with that said, I've seen people that were like 185 and they carry everything around the midsection, skinny legs, skinny arms, just big belly, and we have to break it into two procedures. So it's not just the weight. Okay.
So Pristine 4 eyes. I'm planning to have upper abdominal liposuction. Okay, yeah, we talked about we typically treat the entire abdomen all at once.
You got a Spanish question from Yesenia again. Oops. Did you get it?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what happened to it.
So Yersinia Toxica says, I finally mustered up the courage to take pics of myself. Where's the website I can send them so I can get an estimate? Okay.
MyShapeLipo.com. There's the two different links there's the free consultation or the expedited, and someone asked about the expedited. The expedited consultation is just you get it with me or Kale, and you can get in next week or within a few days, as opposed to the free consultation. It's with our staff. We also look at the pictures, but the information is delivered by our staff, and they're booked up until December. So if you're looking to do this faster, then do the expedited. And the $100 fee it comes off your procedure costs. Okay, Aurelie says, can I get a BBL if I have high blood pressure?
Absolutely, you can. Yep, that does not exclude you from this procedure. In fact, oftentimes, we haven't done any formal studies, but we would love to if we had time, obviously. But yeah, increasing your body habitus, or improving your body habitus, decreasing the weight, and you becoming active afterwards, actually is probably going to help your blood pressure come down naturally.
And definitely, if you have high blood pressure, you want to make sure that it's controlled with your medication. So I assume that you're taking medication, and I assume that it's controlled. And if that's the case, then we can move forward.
So how many days do I need to be in Vegas for, the surgery? So bottom line is, we like you to show up a day ahead, okay, and get familiar and just get tucked in, right, and decrease that anxiety level. You show up the next day, we do the procedure, and then we'd like you to be in town for about 48 hours. That way, if anything happens, any complications, you have direct access to us, and we can help navigate you through whatever might occur. We've been pretty lucky and haven't had any major issues. And so, but yeah, just in case, because oftentimes in medicine, when you return home and you go to another provider or another health system or whatever, nobody wants to touch somebody else's work. Okay, and they all play the blame game. Oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, why did they do this? Oh, why? Bottom line is, this is a very safe procedure. It's been proven to be very safe. There are just a couple of little things that can come up, and we can help you with that. So we recommend that you stick around for about 48 hours. With that, we're also going to give you a lymphatic massage in our office the very next day. And then, Lexi does a really good job walking you through post-op care, walking you through, expectations and kind of, helping you navigate through this process.
And I just also want to say thank you to Heidi. Heidi was in, I want to say a couple weeks out right now. And Heidi brought us some nice presents, some Hawaiian tea and Hawaiian coffee and some chocolates and
some Japanese chocolates.
And some macadamia nuts. Amazing. Really appreciate it. I've been drinking that coffee. It's very good, actually. And I believe Heidi had posted some pictures recently in the group. So if any of you are interested in seeing Heidi's progress, you can get on the My Shape Lipo support group.
So Daniela for hair says, can I do the arms and the tummy in one session?
I don't recommend. So it obviously depends on the individual. Larger individuals that, we need to break up the midsection into two different procedures. Those are two full procedures. And typically I like to do the midsection together and then the upper body together. And the upper body would be like the arms, the front brow roll, which is the underarm area, and the back brow roll, which is the upper back. These areas, the reason why we do them together is because the compression garments cover those areas. So a lot of people come in wanting full body liposuction and it's just not safe. So we got to do what's safe for you. So get the consultation. So, we won't know for sure until we see pictures of you, and then we can make a plan.
Listen, if you want to do that, go to some place like, that's out of the country, because I don't know, most of the medical providers here in the country would probably have the same answer as Trevor, but, Dominican Republic, some of those other places that don't really care about your safety.
They'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, they'll do whatever you want,
So Ella is asking about the losing weight again. Ella, you don't have to lose weight. Let's just put it that way. If you want to lose weight, you can lose weight, but you don't have to. In my experience, is it's actually easier for the fat to come out when you don't lose weight. However, I will say this: it is crucial, imperative that you lose weight following the procedure. If you gain weight following the procedures, the results are not as good, and you won't be as happy. If you change your life, you can transform everything, and you see there's so many women that are transforming their lives, and they're doing it through their habits, through their lifestyle, through the changing of their diet, in addition to the liposuction. Can I do payments or only cash? So we have like a layaway type program where you can make payments on a monthly basis, and then when you're paid in full, you can move forward. We also have financing options as a third-party company.
Hey, is anybody going to go buy stock in Pink clothing company after this? I mean, look at how amazing she looks.
Is that the same top?
It looks
It's
like
the
it,
same.
right? Yeah, because I just noticed that there's some lettering underneath here,
Huh.
and it's the same color scheme, and different hair color, obviously.
Yeah.
But wow, 230 pounds down to 157.
Wow.
I mean, if you're looking for something like that, then, then come. If not, then, go somewhere else. It's
Right.
cool.
So this is a great example of an individual who didn't lose the weight beforehand. So she was 230 when she started, but you see she lost the weight afterwards. So clearly we did liposuction on her, but the liposuction wasn't everything. When she lost the weight, you see the shape that she has now, and that's where the best results are going to come, is when you lose weight following the procedure and continue to live a healthy lifestyle.
And please don't ask the question, because I know it's coming. Well, if you just do the front of my abdomen, how many pounds am I going to drop? Listen, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is all fat density is different amongst all of the different people. And so, if we do the front of, person one, their abdomen, it might drop them 20, 30 pounds. If we do another person, it might be only 15. So the number doesn't really matter. What we can tell you is we're actively getting out those fat cells that, are causing that shape. And so we are going to, change the way you look. Okay. The number, as far as what the scale says, is kind of irrelevant.
Carmen's asking if we speak Spanish.
Carmen, sí, hablamos español. Tenemos algunas personas en nuestra oficina que pueden ayudarte con su consulta, y también puede hablar conmigo en cuanto a lo que quieres, ¿ok? Tiene que marcar él y yo. Le mandan un link en donde se pone. Oh, there you go. Good job. Thank you so much.
Is she helping out?
Yep.
Links up above.
Yesenia. Thank you.
Awesome. I love when people help.
What's up, Sophia?
Sophia.
She was 230, 5'7" when she had a 360.
So everybody's different, and try not to judge and compare yourself to other people, because here's the thing: is that we have to base this off of safety. So there's some people that are willing to take more risk than other people, and the last thing you want to do is, just because someone else did it, you decide you want to do it too, and but you're not the same person. You're not the same health, and if you have problems, then look, nobody wants problems. Nobody wants the kind of problems that you can have after these type of procedures.
So Yvette, we have not done any drains after the surgery, and here's why. Because oftentimes when you come, like 80% of our clients come in from out of town, and when they go home, there's the other medical providers, our colleagues that are not in that state, don't like to touch, a patient that's not theirs, because they inherit risk. It's kind of dumb, but whatever. So we don't use drains. What we do is we just we give you some compression garments and some pads, and your body's gonna get rid of those inflammatory cells and that fluid buildup, and we leave those drains open, and then your body will, when it's done, those holes are gonna close off. Some people have kind of a prolonged opening, but eventually they will absolutely close. Okay.
Let's see, what about breast augmentation? So breast augmentation is referring to implants. We don't do implants, however, we do fat transfer to the breast. It's a more natural alternative where we take the fat from one area and we inject it into the breast to give you a natural enhancement. It's pretty cool. The average increase is about a 1 cup size increase. The look and feel is totally natural. It's your fat. So it's a pretty good procedure. I did it on my wife, and the results are awesome. The downside is it's not as predictable, let's say, as implants, because implants you're putting in like little nuggets, and they stay little nuggets and they don't change. Whereas with the fat, you inject it in, and some of the fat's going to survive, some of it's not. However, so we can't control exactly what size it's going to be, and the feel of it is it's your fat, so. Your fat's going to take the natural shape that you have. So those of you who have good shaped breasts already, just adding volume is like just blowing up the balloon.
Yep. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the trend in Hollywood. People are getting their implants removed because they're causing all sorts of problems, and it's just nobody. I don't know. The trend is they don't like them, and so. This fat transfer technique was pretty remarkable when you think about it. You're taking a living cell and you're severing its blood supply, right, from one area of the body, and you're re-injecting it into another part of the body, and it takes.
So that's pretty remarkable.
It's like a transplant.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
It's like
so-
transplanting the heart, or the, not that big, but
Not
we're
that big,
transplanting
yeah.
fat. It's the same concept because it has to create another blood supply.
Yeah. So, what's up, Dom? How's it going? Dom Estudio Dominique is she's from Winslow, Arizona. I worked with Dom in a medical setting out in rural Arizona, and she is probably one of my favorite human beings. So good to see that you're on.
See how much fat can be removed in one day.
So we don't. I mean, listen. The number. Don't think about the numbers. Think about what your body can tolerate and what we perceive your body can tolerate. Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes. A lot of medical science and research that's been done. And bottom line is, if your body can tolerate it, and we think that your body can tolerate it, and it does, then we take out as much as we can. Okay. So pretty pronounced, right? Pretty pronounced. Was this a lot of fat? Absolutely, it was a lot of fat. Did she tolerate it well? Yeah, she did. This just happened to be somebody that's very close to me, sister-in-law. I took her home and I was able to take care of her, and this was kind of like the genesis of me doing large volume liposuction and pushing the envelope. And so, if she would have gone to a plastics guy, cosmetics guy, they would say, oh my gosh, she needs lose some weight and we'll do a tummy tuck.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, no, let's try it. And, she's not showing you right here, but there's no tummy tuck here, okay? And her skin retracted very well. So, if you're interested in something like that, that's what we can do.
I think the coolest thing about this, when you get these large volume, larger bellies, is that how that belly button changed.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a clear sign of, I don't know, I say this nicely, like obesity, or as you get bigger, the body naturally, you take on certain shapes. And so it's a clear sign when you start showing that shape. It's because the volume is sagging, gravity's pulling down in a certain manner, and it looks that way. Now, once we remove the fat, it goes back to the way it should be. You see how small our belly button is, and it's got a natural, normal look to it again. So that's one of the things I think is the coolest thing is belly buttons.
And
It's the little things.
I'm glad Granville put this up, because I often brag about this one just because, listen, I think that validates us as clinicians when our loved ones come to us and they trust us to, intervene on their behalf in a cosmetic or aesthetics, component. Then, we like that, and again, that validates the fact that we're good at what we do.
Giselle's asking if we have any raffles, discounts, promotions, contests, things of that nature. But there's nothing in the pipe right now. So nothing to talk about at this point.
Miss Candy says, do you also do arms? Listen, if there's an area that has fat in it, we can remove it, okay? It doesn't matter where it's at.
Okay, Alma says, how long do I have to wait for my next procedure?
So Trevor and I differ in this aspect. He likes to do it really, really quick, within like 30 days. I like 60 days because I like that inflammatory process to kind of calm down. We've had good success with both. But yeah, so that's just kind of like our subjective take on it.
And a lot of this is when we talk to the individual, I try to gauge their level of risk and what they're willing to take in order to get the results that they're looking for. A lot of people are in a big rush, and it's like once you make this decision, you want to get this done as quick as possible and get through the process. But it's all about safety, and that's the most important thing, because this is, although it may take months to get multiple procedures done, you have the rest of your life to enjoy it, and so we got to make sure that you have the rest of your life.
So a couple of questions. Is there an age restriction? Trevor, what's the oldest lady you've ever done liposuction on? How old was she?
I want to say like 80 or something. How
82,
old was the
I
one that we
think.
did videos on?
She the video on YouTube was 74,
Okay.
but she could be 80 by
Yeah.
now.
Interesting thing, I did, like, literally just this last week, I had, we're gonna have a return patient. She was 7 years old, and she first had her sides and her lower back treated to create that hourglass figure in the waistline, and now she's coming back for the front of her abdomen. So she's doing a little bit backwards, but that's okay. And she just told me that this has changed her life. And at 70 years old, she now feels confident enough to wear a bathing suit, She feels confident enough to wear clothes that she hasn't worn since she was in her 40s, and it's one of those things that it's safe for people as long as you're healthy, and it doesn't really age is just a number, but why wait? That's the thing you need to ask yourselves, why wait? Because if you're planning on getting this done, if you wait a decade, that's a decade of still living in this body that you're hiding from everything that is you're limited by the size and the shape, and why wait? So this lady, 70 years old, she's telling me it changed her life, and now she's coming back for more procedures, and she's healthy, she healed well, everything went great.
So that's interesting about her, because I had a very long conversation with her while she was on the table, and I said, "Why are you doing this?" I mean, because I think she was like, I want to say 73 or 76. Those two numbers stick out. And she goes, "Listen, I miss my girlish figure. I miss the figure that I had." I go, "I know, but you've been married for years and years, and you're probably going to be featured on Paul Harvey here soon with how many years you've been married." And she goes, "I know, but this is for me, and so I can't wait to see you again. I won't mention your name, but I look forward to working on you again. So I can't wait." Let's see. So that's the age restriction. Hola. Okay. So Soledad. Lo que podemos hacer es hacer una evaluación con fotos, ¿ok? No puedo darle un precio por esta cosa porque cada persona es diferente. Tiene que enviar las fotos acá a nosotros para que podamos evaluarlos, y después vamos a contactar por correo electrónico o teléfono, lo que sea, y hablar en lo que necesitas, ¿ok?
Yesenia is asking questions in English now. When do you have appointments available? I already sent my pictures. Do you have any appointments sooner than January? Yeah, so that's where Yesenia, that's where the expedited consultation. If you're serious, you want to get this done, do the expedited consultation. You'll get Kayla or myself, and we'll do it within the next couple of days or next week or so. We work quick.
Okay, so it says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. Can you show a picture of someone who has had lipo without skin tightening? Thank you." So we use the skin tightening technology on almost every patient because we want to give the best cosmetic appearance, the skin the best chance to retract, and so I don't think we probably don't.
You're not like you would have seen that 5 years ago with us, but not anymore. We don't do areas that need the smart lipo, like the abdomen, like this. We don't do those without the smart lipo anymore because we have done it in the past and we didn't get real results that we wanted. So therefore, the specific areas that are of concern, we require individuals, and it's more so that we're just not allowing you to shortchange yourself, because you're going to get the best results this way. So now we just don't want you to shortchange yourself, because ultimately all of you are walking billboards for us. You're walking and talking, and you're talking to your friends and family, and if the results aren't to the best that they can be, then you're not representing us appropriately.
Yeah, and think about it in this way. Why would you go to a car dealership and say, "Yeah, I'll take that car, but don't put the wheels on"? Right? I mean, we want you to have the best functioning appearance of our work, so that you can go show it off and you can feel confident in what you do, and then go enjoy your life and create something new, and do some new activities, and become active and become healthier. Get rid of that sick body, right? Those fat cells do a lot of stuff. It gives off hormones that cause insulin resistance, that cause problems with so many different functions in your body. Your body will probably be in a chronic inflammatory state because of it's combating the excess hormones. So I mean, listen, do yourself a favor and get healthy. It's time.
Shannon Sandoval says she loves her fat transfer. I don't know, Shannon, if you've been showing photos. I don't know if I've seen pictures of you recently, but it'd be cool to see some updates on the group. If I remember correctly, Shannon got some pretty amazing results.
So Anna, yes, podemos transferir la grasa a los senos también. Lo más popular es los senos y también las nalgas, okay?
So any of the pricing questions that you may have, you got to get your consultation first. We don't just give out random pricing on these live videos. So each individual is a little bit different, so we take things into account. On Instagram, there's a pinned comment here. There's 2 different choices for our consultations. You have the expedited, which gets you in the next couple days, or we have the free consultation, which we're booked out apparently now till January. So you make the choice.
And just to recap for the Spanish speakers, cuando hacemos una cirugía, y lo que recomiendo yo es esperar por lo menos 2 meses. Trevor dice 1 mes para hacer la segunda cirugía, ¿ok? Entonces 1 o 2 meses, ¿ok? Depende en lo que estamos haciendo y depende en la cantidad de grasa que tenemos que sacar.
Norel says, is there a preferred place to stay for out-of-towners and how many days? So typically we're going to ask that you stay for at least 48 hours afterwards. So you're going to arrive the night before and stay at least 48 hours afterwards. A preferred place, we don't have that anymore. Unfortunately, the deal that we had with the hotel, patients, they damaged their rooms. So the hotel reneged on the deal. So sorry, it wasn't that good of a deal. I mean, it was like $10 off a night.
So Airbnb, I've talked to quite a few people, and Airbnb works amazing. Obviously when you're doing a little more intimate, setting like an Airbnb, you want to make sure that you're very respectful and hygienic, and so it's not like a hotel, but we recommend you be hygienic and respectful of the hotel as well. Let's see. So Sin Forgiven ask, can you have liposuction with metal in your body? So why don't you talk about the actual procedure, the steps, just really quick, and kind of just explain to the audience why it's so non-invasive.
So she said she had metal clamps holding the 2 bones together in her spine.
So she probably had a couple of spinal fractures, compression fractures, and then she had some sort of, apparatus and put in there to maintain the spacing. But yeah, we're not going into your spine at all. Right. Okay, we're not going into your abdominal cavity. We're going right into the fat layer, which is outside of the abdominal wall underneath the skin. We inject the medicine right into that fat layer. We suck it out of that, so it's very non-invasive. So having metal in your body absolutely has no bearing on this particular procedure.
It's a totally different layer. Totally different layer.
Located in Henderson, Nevada, Las Vegas.
Let's see, Yesenia says, how can I talk to you? So Yesenia, you're going to want to do the expedited consultation. It's $100. We can talk to you in the next couple days.
I think Holly's mama, Selena, Nut Bueno Español. I think she's saying it's not bad Spanish. Well, listen, yo soy 100% gringo, entonces hablo como un gringo. Okay, Emily Santana, my arms are so small now, a few months post-op. Thank you, doctors. You're the best. Now my whole upper body is proportioned. I don't have a small upper body with big arms no more. Well, awesome. Listen, that's why we do this, is because we enjoy, being able to intervene on people's behalf and change the way they perceive their reality and their body.
So Yesenia, up above in the post here, there's a link for the expedited consultation. If that doesn't work for you, our website has it as well on the front page.
So Pretty Please says, how many sessions for the pic behind you?
That's a badass picture, huh?
Yeah. So the Trevor actually did this one, and it looks like it's only 1 session, right?
Yeah, this is a 360. See, this is the thing, is like, you never know. Everybody has their own body type and their own potential. So I did the same thing that I do on all these other women, but man, she just had phenomenal potential, and to get these big, huge, dramatic results. And I just did my thing.
I actually showed this picture to my barber, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, this girl looks like a video model on a rap video." Yeah,
she does.
Those rap guys, girlfriends.
So Maria asks, is there an additional charge to have lipo done while asleep? We do not do any type of formal sedation. We don't think it's safe in our particular, the way we go about it, because we're very aggressive and we need to make sure that we gauge how your body is doing the entire time. Granville, awesome photo right here. This girl did liposuction, abdominal 360. It was her birthday, and she gave herself, the opportunity to come in, and we gave her a big butt.
Yeah, she went from like SpongeBob to hourglass.
Yeah, look at this heart shape. Ready? Bless you. I think in Spanish, or in certain parts of Spanish, it's called a bunda profunda.
Bunda profunda.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that's an Argentine slang for butt. Thank you, Maria. Oh, it's very sweet of you, Emily. Yeah, listen, we try, like, again, once you're our patient, okay, we try and make a connection to you because we want you to have a good patient experience, right? This is a journey. This is like one of those, life-changing moments, and we want you to be in the moment. We want you to be there. We want you to be present. We want you to be cognizant. We want you to be motivated when you leave to change things, because we're going to change them immediately right there. And we're going to follow up with you, and you're going to have our personal contact info just in case something happens. Try and use that with discretion. I have gotten a couple of texts at 3:00 in the morning, which is awesome. No big deal. I love it. Yeah, so we care about you. Absolutely. You are not just, part of some mill like in Miami or wherever they do a bunch of this stuff. And, we care about our clients, and we make sure that, they're taken care of.
For me, it's like I've always just had been compelled to do my best. And when I do my best for someone else, that I think that just shows in the way we do things. And so it's high standards that we've kept, and we do our best to do the best customer service as well. And I always like to say we try to create the wow factor, and not just doing average work, because nobody talks about average work. It's when you create the wow, the amazing, the oh my gosh, like that's amazing. People talk about that stuff, and that's how our business is spread.
And so, we get these questions quite a bit. Do you do any type of tummy tuck or even a mini tummy tuck? No, we do not do any tummy tuck at all. All of our stuff is just liposuction, okay?
Right. None of these patients have had tummy tuck.
None.
None of them. In fact, we do have patients who have had tummy tuck, and then they come to us to fix the problem. Because the tummy tucks, they don't. If you have an abundance of fat and they do a tummy tuck, you're not going to be happy with the results. They can't shape you out the way that we can with the liposuction. So we can get better results, in my opinion, and no big scars.
No, Eli Hernandez, no usamos anestesia como un epidural. No, inyectamos la medicina dentro de la grasa donde estamos trabajando. No necesitamos un epidural, ¿ok? Cada epidural que tienes, si vas a un lugar donde ellos dicen que vamos a usar un epidural, bueno, tiene que tener mucha preocupación por eso, porque hay mucho riesgo hacer la epidural, ¿no? Ellos están poniendo un needle en su espalda donde se puede tocar los nervios y tener daño por toda la vida. No hacemos esto. Inyectamos la medicina, la anestesia adentro de la grasa, ¿ok? Es más saludable y no vas a tener la propensidad a tener ningún problema neurológico en el futuro, ¿ok?
Meryl asked, who did the one behind you?
Which one?
I'm not sure. This is we're a little bit behind on the questions, so I'm not. We've been switching out these things, but just so you're aware, Kayla and I work together as a team. So most of the results that you're seeing now coming out recently are a combination of both of us.
Okay, we're coming up on the hour mark, and it looks like all of the questions have been answered on this and Instagram, Facebook.
So if you guys are ready to change your life, and just so you know, we do men too. Men rarely ever talk about this, but those of you who might have your husbands that you wish that they would get this done, and see how it's cool where the belly is now not sticking out as far as his chest. I mean, that's the way it should be, right? It should be flat. So, and whoever, if you're ready to change your life, start your transformation, the next step is getting your consultation. And again, up on Facebook, we have both of the links for our free consultation as well as the expedited paid consultation, which you can get much quicker. On Instagram, we have those on the pinned comment there, so you'll have to copy and paste that. They're also on our website, so you can always find that there. If you guys have any other questions, please contact our office, or we'll be back here live soon. All right, thank you for watching.
Listen, if you guys are super interested, jump onto our Facebook page, request to join the support group, make sure that you answer the questions appropriately, that you're only going to be positive, and sorry guys, we don't let guys in the group. But every question that's ever been asked with intimacy and detail is answered there on our private support group. So it's a great resource. So there you go.
So get on the support group.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I noticed as we finish here, Granville does it's like fireworks. Right at the end, he goes boom, rapid fire, change all the pictures. So you guys can look back through there.
Anyway,
All right, thanks for watching, guys.
next time.